What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 30 of the Offshore Gamescast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Dylan, and a little bit of a different episode for us.
Little homeward bound episode.
Yeah, we have COVID, so
Yep.
we're quarantined. So just saying, if there's a lot of coughing, especially when we're laughing, that's when it comes out for me a lot. But we're both okay. We just have like colds. We're vaccinated, so we're good. I
feel fine. And just a lot of mucus.
The last couple of days I felt like shit.
I felt pretty good.
But we won't linger on that because COVID does not stop offshore.
No.
Nothing does. So let's just nothing.
If someone like did an accident, an on purpose tracheotomy on both of us, but like botched it up, I don't know if we could talk anymore.
We would still do it.
So it would just like Microsoft Sam.
Yeah, pretty much. It would just be when we would make sure to use the same voice back and forth.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 30. I'm Dave. I'm Dylan.
Yeah, just the whole episode. Okay, I'm gonna jump into my first game here because I've been playing a decent amount because we haven't been working.
I've been outside.
That's good.
Trying to get some fresh air. Cleaned my car yesterday.
I really should be doing stuff like that.
Right.
But I think the only time I stepped outside of the house since being in quarantine was to grab DoorDash deliveries.
Really? I've been out a few times. I was out for a few hours today.
Yeah, I don't. It's freezing.
Well, we went to drive somewhere to drop something off, and then we got Taco Bell and just kind of sat in the parking lot for a bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you weren't just like I just imagine you going for a walk.
I mean, it is cold. I mean, it was it was raining today, so.
Okay.
Anyway,
Aspire, Ina's Tale.
Oh,
this
look
was
at you.
this was that I talked about it with the Xbox game demos. This is the one that like came out like right away.
Yeah.
So I finished it. It's literally only a few hours long. It's not a big game. This was that like that relaxing 2D platformer, like the puzzle platformer.
Right.
Yeah, the platforming itself is not like a Mario game where it's hard to like make jumps. Mm-hmm. It's more about the puzzles. So you play as this girl, Ina, and it's all about like, oh, you're trapped in a tower, and the so-called knight in shining armor saved you, but you never see that dude because it's not about him. It's about like her.
A big scary ogre.
I like to imagine it was Shrek that saved her, but then Shrek is nowhere to be found. The tower is like alive, and she is the heart of the tower, and she wants to escape the tower. And there's all sorts of weird beings being like, "You shouldn't, but all right if you have to."
Uh-oh.
Like you come across the architect who like built the tower, and they're like, "Well, you shouldn't leave, but all right, I'll help you if you help me."
Like walking into a Costco.
It's all about escaping the tower.
I gotta get out of this Costco, but all these people keep asking me if I need a new rowboat.
Oh God. Even when it gets like there are times where like you're getting chased and stuff, and like the music picks up and it gets kind of intense. It still never actually gets that tense. Mm-hmm. And I think that's because of you move slow in this game. Even when you're being chased, you're moving slow. Mm-hmm. It's not like a fast moving game or anything like that. And while I do think that helps the game like stay pretty relaxing even when it gets kind of crazy. It can be kind of tedious because a lot of the puzzles are like block pushing puzzles. Like you have to push this heavy block from one side to another and make it float to do this thing. And sometimes when you're like moving shit back and forth, especially towards the end when the puzzles get a little more complicated, it was a little like, all right, this is taking kind of long just to push this block from one point to another.
It's a fucking Sisyphus, dude.
A what?
It's Sisyphus.
Oh, it's I Sisyphus.
Yeah, you know Sisyphus?
No.
He's the fucking dude who's pushing his fucking rock up the hill.
What?
Do you know nothing about Greek and or Roman mythology?
Not really.
We just played the Forgotten City. Do you not remember the dude who stuck pushing the boulder up the hill?
Oh, I remember that dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Sisyphus.
That's a myth guy.
Well, when you say it like that,
He's a myth buster.
It's I don't know. The gods got mad, and he had to push a rock up a hill, and it was taking forever.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's you.
I mean yeah, that's me.
That's you.
I am a myth. The story's okay.
Yeah.
It kind of it does a cool thing that I like that when games do this, where it kind of sets up like a lore to the world, but doesn't like go super deep into anything. And I like when games do that because it kind of sets it up as like, yeah, this is a real living world that these people live in. And of course, I'm not just going to understand everything about it because no one does. That's how the world works. So like there's no like history lesson in there, but the lore is definitely there. Overall, I give it a 6.5 out of 10.
Oh yeah,
it was okay. I enjoyed it. It was a good length. I don't think it needed to be any longer. Because I think it would start to get even more tedious unless they gave you some abilities that let you maybe move faster.
Okay.
But yeah, that was a Spire. Ian's Tale was pretty cheap, I think. So not bad.
All right. Fun little game.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that's what I've been doing these last few days because there's not like nothing big and new is out right now.
Yeah, I mean that's just the time period. Nothing's really jumping until, let's say, another week from now.
Yeah, then things kind of start.
Pretty much. I just remembered I have a third game.
That's
so
perfect.
This is gonna be really easy. Starting off with me, I have been doing the opposite since I've been locked up at home. Let's try to get some work done on this shit. I've been blowing through some chorus.
Ooh.
I've been making progress. I've been making a lot of progress. I am more than halfway through at this point. I want to say I've acquired all the rights.
Oh, okay. The way it was kind of setting it up, I figured it'd just be like, all right, every area you get one new right.
I mean, there's a lot of... So I had it up to medium this whole time, and I switched it down to easy just because I'm getting to the point where I'm like, all right, this game is a little longer than most other ones, and I do want to make the most of my time at home. So I'm going to switch it to easy, and I'm just going to try to like blast through. But those rights that you do get, the abilities, they just make the flying and the drifting feel so much better. Everything you get, there's like a push ability that lets you kind of like speed through certain like wall barriers and break through them. There's another one that lets you just turn off, sends out this pulse that turns off other people's engines, and you can just start doing fucking tricks around them and just take them out.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It is. Yeah, there's parts of this game that like they do it cool too, where it's not a pain in the ass that all like the specific enemy classes can really only be taken down with one type of weapon. Because it's like you have the bigger ships. It's like, all right, first I got to hit them with my laser to take down the shields. And then it would really work best if I used missiles against this thing. Against like the smaller ones where it's like, oh, I'm just going to Gatling gun and then it's down. Like it does a pretty good job of like, all right, I'm flying, I'm drifting, I'm feeling really cool. Oh, let me switch weapons real quick because I'm focused on this guy. Let me just teleport behind him, shut his engines off. The gameplay feels really good. And that's pretty much the reason that I'm sticking so closely to it.
I don't know. Designed very smartly. It feels like it's way bigger than just like it like feels almost like a AAA game in that aspect.
Yeah. It like you see it's space. What the fuck are you going to do in space? Space is empty. It's space. But like the speed and the way that the ship feels, I can equate it out to like just swinging around in Spider-Man. It's the kind of movement that just feels good to do. So that's pretty much why I'm still playing, because I have no idea what the fuck is going on in this story? I don't know if there's just too many big name characters or if it's just shit that's like it feels like when the game started off, I still didn't really know what was happening. Like, you're Nara, you used to be with the Circle are a bunch of douchebags, and now you're going against them. But like at the same time, there's shit happening, and the Great Prophet is opening these rifts to do shit, and you're like, what? And this is only halfway through the fucking game? Like, I don't know what the fuck's going on, man. But it feels really fun to play. That's all I know.
The story is just bad guys are bad. You used to be bad guy. Stop bad guys. That's the story.
Pretty much. And it's like I also don't give a single fuck what happens to any of these characters too. Like, Sav?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sav dies.
I know. I saw it.
Yeah, and like, did you give a fuck?
Kind of not really.
Hey, I'm gonna go talk to Sav, and then we'll ride over. It's like, oh, ride with me real quick, and then we talk, and then like he just gets blown up, and you're like, all right, so what are we doing now?
Yeah, I guess I didn't really think about it when it happened, but like, yeah, I didn't really feel any emotional impact from that. I was just like, all right, well, now we got to kill these guys.
Yep. Well, Sav's dead, but it's okay because we got a whole bunch of little fucking enemies coming in right now. So let's just go fight, and let's go
Pretty
fight.
much, yeah.
We'll just keep fighting. You know what? Let's just fight. That's it.
Yep, pretty much.
Anyway, Chorus is still fun, and I think people should play it.
Yeah, that's the game I plan on getting to with these next few days off because I don't have a lot else.
I'm trying to finish this up. It's funny because I have a walkthrough going up at the same time. Not like a walkthrough, but like a video walkthrough. Because there's not a single goddamn mission list out there. I can't find out how much longer I have left in the game. But on this video full game walkthrough, it's only 7 hours from start to finish. I don't know fucking how. And I'm at
yeah, because isn't this like a 30 to 40 hour game or something?
It looks like on How Long to Beat, it's generally 15, 16, but I guess if you want to do other stuff and play on the medium difficulty, it could be anywhere from 20 to 30. But this dude's just fucking going nuts, doing 7 hours, and I'm at like almost like 4.5 hour mark of that 7 hour video, so I don't have too much left to go, especially if I just keep sticking on and especially playing on easy. So I'm hoping to get
had in my
done.
head that it was just like this kind of like a bigger, longer game. Which is why I've been kind of saving it to the side compared to some of these others.
I mean, I played on medium for a good amount, and there are parts of that game that you literally cannot do. Like, you will die. Like, I don't even know if it's skill-based or not. But I had to reboot or abort an entire mission, which brought me back even further than I thought it was going to take me, because there's this one boss I literally could not do shit against, and I had to go back to the hangar bay and buy new missiles and new Gatling guns, but I fucking lost like an hour's worth of progress just rebooting that mission and just having to deal with it because of how much of a pain in the ass it was.
That sucks.
Yeah. So I feel like the reason why it takes that long, if anything, is how much you will die and just have to get
it could be that.
used to it.
Because I also switched the game to easy because I like even earlier on I was dying and I was like, I want to play this game and like feel badass, not like it's like I'm scrapping by or anything.
Like I know it says you can put it to easy if you want more of a story focused experience, but I'm not paying attention to the story, so I'm just making it faster. I'm just
pretty much yeah.
To me, that's all I really need right now.
Cool. So you think you're gonna have that beat before next week?
Absolutely. Probably tomorrow. Absolutely tomorrow. And then I have I have some things that I got my eyes on right now that I want to take advantage of.
Ooh. That sounds bad.
That sounds very bad in the wrong context.
That sounds really bad.
I did realize that. Let me clarify. I have some video games that I'm looking at beating over the next few days very specifically, and I think that will happen.
That, a lot better.
Right? It's much more straight to the point and less fun, but not nearly as incriminating.
No, that out of context, the podcast would have been over. Done.
Granted. 90% of our highlights are out of context anyway, so.
That is true.
Maybe we just need that bad clickbait news to get us more downloads.
Yeah, that's what we got to do. We got to start getting in trouble.
You know what? I'm stuck home, and you know what? I just want to be bad and take complete advantage of all the games I have right in front of me.
All right, we'll just make sure to cut it out at Take Advantage.
Right. All right, your turn.
I beat the gunk.
You did.
I did. I scanned everything and got every upgrade.
See, it was at the point where I was like, oh, I can scan one of these like fucking tram bus things. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. I thought I was only going for like the flora, and it started to become very samey at a point.
So the flora, like, and this is kind of one of my problems with the game. Like the flora, very early on, it's like, oh my god, there's so many different plants for me to scan and stuff. But then after like the first or second area, you basically have scanned like every plant in the game.
Yeah. And some look similar and will scan, and you're like, but I thought that was the same thing.
Yeah, so a nice little thing I found that helped was without having the thing pop up, like we talked about last week, how really that screen like lingers there of an item you scanned. If you pull out your Amy, you hit like L2, you hold that down, or left trigger, and it like pulls up the scanner. If you're nearby, whatever you're nearby, if it's red, that means you already scanned it. If it's like a blue thing pops up, it needs to be scanned still. So I was taking advantage of that a lot.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
You take advantage of it?
Oh, fuck!
Damn it, Dylan!
Shit!
We're fucking sacks of shit.
Oh, God.
You sound like shit.
I feel like shit. Today's actually a little bit better than the last couple of days.
Right? You know what I was saying? Wednesdays are like the 3 p.m. of the week. You know what I mean?
Sure.
All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Sure. So like I liked the idea of listen, I get it. You need to have some character drama between the sisters, but I thought it was kind of unnecessary that they kind of made Bex a little bit of a bitch for no reason.
I thought the same thing until the ending.
I mean, I like they do justify like why she's like cranky and kind of lashing out.
Yeah.
And like I do understand both sides, but it kind of felt unnecessary. You know what I mean?
It like that's why storytelling can be such a confusing thing, because it's like at first I felt the exact same way. I'm like, you are being a fucking bitch right now. Like this isn't about us. But at the same time, at the end, it's like, oh, it is about us, and it's like, oh, I get it now. You should have said that.
Totally, and like we're purposely not saying what it is, even though it's not like a huge spoiler, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I don't know. I didn't need the fighting. I thought there was enough going on.
Yeah.
I think towards the end, when the puzzle starts to get a little more complicated and you're like kind of bouncing back and forth a lot between like two separate places to get one seed to the next place, and I liked that. I thought that was like the perfect puzzle balance.
I mean, like how I said, it felt like the amount of time the game was like you played for, it didn't feel like you were like there too long.
No, and it was like it got to the perfect difficulty for me where I was like, okay, I feel smart doing these puzzles, but I'm not struggling that much with them.
Yeah.
Like I figured out, I'm like, yeah, that's right. I figured that out, but I wasn't sitting here like, well, what the fuck do I do, and getting frustrated or anything.
I'm wearing so much gray right now, but my socks are pretty white.
Wow. I am wearing so much like navy blue right now, but my shirt is yellow.
I got sweatpants on, and sweatpants are like stereotypically gray, and I'm wearing a gray shirt, and my socks have gray on the bottom, but they're white. So
your feet really stand out, is what you're saying.
To me, yeah, they're like fucking sore thumbs.
That's what they say about feet, the classic saying.
Yeah, my feet are like sore thumbs. Get out of my face.
I have one major bone to pick with this game.
Oh no.
I wanted to vacuum so much gunk. And then 2 times it brings you to these like towers.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
Surrounded by gunk, and you can't vacuum it all up. You can
No, you
vacuum up
purposely-
some of it on the way up, and then you do a thing that clears it all out. But no, I wanted to tediously go through every inch of that gunk myself and vacuum it up, and I was not happy when I couldn't.
See, I think that's where we differ because I saw those towers and I said, "Oh boy."
See, I initially saw the tower and I was like, yes, let me do it. And then it was
clean
like,
up all the
no.
gunk, and I was like, "Is this gunk multiplying as I'm cleaning it up?" And then it got to a point where I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna make myself a path. You know what? This is just
Which is what you were supposed to do there.
I don't get paid enough for this. My sister is being a fucking bitch. I have no idea what's happening today, and I'm so hungry."
I gave it a 7 out of 10. And I think
Is that
you
what
gave
I
it the
gave
same thing. I think so. I
It's
thought
a
this
good
was
game.
Yeah, it's a good, enjoyable game. I think it missed the mark on a couple things, but overall I think that this fun good game for like this slow period right now.
Yeah,
And the fact it was on Game Pass, lovely.
I know. Game Pass is. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, there's more. Later.
Listen,
I'm listening.
I started a new game,
Okay.
and I'm already debating on putting it down.
All right, good start. What are we talking?
So I got a little bored, and I was hopping through Game Pass,
Okay.
and I came across Breathedge.
Haven't heard of it.
So Breathedge, think Subnautica but space.
Okay. I could
So
picture that.
You're this dude who has his let's call it a tool. His tool is a chicken. And
No, that's you see, out of context, bad.
it is though, because like
His tool is a chicken.
all right, so the first thing is you are inside your little like capsule, like you're in like the lobby of your fucked up ship. Or what are those things called? It's not a lobby. What are those fucking things called with the one door and the other door?
A hallway?
No, it's like it's in the front.
An entranceway?
No. Fuck. You know when you go up to a restaurant and like they have like the outdoor awning thing and you got to walk through those doors before you get to the front door?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck is that called?
Does that have a name?
It does have a
It's
name,
like
and I
the
feel like it begins
entrance?
with a D.
A D?
Yeah.
Does that tie into his tool? That's a chicken? His dick?
Name
Are you Googling it?
in front of house. Living room. No.
Living. Yep, that's it. You have to walk through
Shit.
the living room of a restaurant. Is this? I mean, is this?
It has a name anyway. So I'm
Here,
in.
you
like, the
talk.
front
I'll see if I can
lobby.
find it.
I'm in like the front lobby section of this ship, like the decompression thing, and one of the pipes is blown. So I gotta stabilize the oxygen. So I take my tool and I stuff it in the pipe to stop the leak.
Okay.
So this chicken is just sticking out of this pipe, and I
Do you
realize
have other chickens?
no, it's just the one. That's why I need to find something to plug the hole. But I'm using the chicken for now.
Okay. So
I find some gum and I chew it up and I take the chicken out and I plug the hole. And then other parts, I got to use the chicken to. There's a fucked up wire that is just shooting out electricity, and I got to use the chicken to absorb all the electricity to get to do what I have to do next. So this chicken is very useful.
Vestibule?
Yeah, is that what it is? That sounds right. So I'm in the
That's a
vestibule.
synonym for entranceway, and that kind of sounded like what you were going for.
Well, is a vestibule description of room between two doors of the outside and the front of it?
Synonym, vestibule, noun, the entrance
An
room of a building.
antechamber, hall, or lobby next to... Yeah, so 100%, this was the vestibule of this ship. Oh, here we go. A chamber or channel opening into another. that's anatomy. All right. So I'm out here.
Oh,
This
okay, yeah.
is a space Subnautica survival-y game. So I'm out collecting resources. I need oxygen. I need food and water. I don't even know what light bulbs are. I got to go figure shit out. I know nothing. Right.
Is there like a tutorial going on, or is it literally like you're just thrown into it?
So like I'm thrown in and there's the stuff to get me started and I go and collect some stuff. But the way that it works is there's like random shit floating in space that you can go get quickly and like start making the necessary stuff. The problem is the oxygen, which I don't have a lot of right now. And you have a base of like 75 oxygen that depletes pretty fast, and you got to constantly go back to the ship to get more oxygen. Or you can make these like portable little oxygen things that give you more while you're out there. But, I'm not really finding enough resources to make it worth it. And I'm in chapter 1 and I got to travel pretty far. And I've already spent like an hour or two just collecting resources, just doing random stuff. And I don't know if I have the patience to just keep doing resource management, because all I'm trying to do right now is make my better version of my suit and my helmet. And I don't know what a fucking light bulb is.
What?
I can't make my suit without a light bulb. I don't know what a light bulb is. I need to go and find a light bulb and find
Oh, so the character doesn't know a light bulb because they just haven't found one?
Yeah. They don't know shit.
Wow, how did this character get into space?
I don't know, but he's got a nice mustache. He's very just stuck. The writing is really funny, though.
Stylish man got into space, but he doesn't know what light bulbs are.
And I can piss. I can piss everywhere. You can piss. Pissing uses your water resource, and if you piss in the bathroom, a little meter fills up, and you can get something like water or plastic.
So you're like Master Chief.
Yeah, but it's like an object I can pick up, and sometimes it's just piss, and I can just take that.
And what do you do with it?
Nothing. I just have yellow water, and it's called yellowish water.
Can you drink it?
No, I can't. I can just have it.
So, like, are you just going to start a collection?
I do right now. I think I have a few bottles because I keep finding them in space, and I haven't done anything with them yet.
Well, you're also finding them out in space?
I'm not the only one. There was a whole bunch of shit that got fucked. So I'm in like a big wreckage.
Gotcha.
Yeah, everyone's dead. And where I have to go is really far away. And just a little extra on that last part. While I'm in space, I can also pull my dick out and piss.
How does that does it like push you forward in space? Does it accelerate you?
Two things happen. One, okay. I start pissing.
That's okay, yep.
And two, I get a warning about freezing danger.
Oh, well,
dick is in space.
Yeah, that doesn't. But does it push you at all?
No, you move really slow, and I'm just pissing.
It sounds like it should have just been called Piss Space Simulator with a chicken. Right?
But so I'm at the point where I go and I'm collecting resources and I can make a few things, but I just don't know if that's going to hold me, because there's a lot of resource management that I got to go and collect and make things, and I got to focus on my health and whatnot. And I don't know how I'm feeling. I don't know if I just want to sit there and do that or if I just want to piss my dick off, you know?
That's how you stop playing the game, and you just go outside, out in space, you take a piss, so you just freeze to death?
I piss until I die.
Well, if you're out in space, that doesn't seem that hard.
Yeah, no, it's not.
That whole resource management loop where it's just constantly needing to get more and more so frequently is the reason I usually don't play those games.
You see, I thought it'd be fun because it seems like it has like a campaign in a way, like a mission set and an ending. Like it only takes about 15 or so hours, but with how much resource management that I'm doing right now and just the extra stuff, it doesn't necessarily add up into a fun experience I'm having.
Bummer. What's the name of the game again?
Breathedge. Like, it's fun in all other regards. It's funny. I like the writing. It made me laugh a few times, but like, I don't know if it's just hard or if I'm just bad at it or if I'm just impatient. I just like pissing.
Don't we all?
All these fucking survival games, they let you do one thing, either piss or shit, and somehow
that
like
is true.
Most fun. Fucking Ark or Conan, I can just shit and I could play with it. I can do whatever I want with it. I can't do that in other games. Let me piss. Let me Duke Nukem, Breathedge, Conan, Ark, other games. Let me defecate. Let me urinate. Let me do whatever I want with it afterwards.
You just have Kratos fucking walking up on Atreus after he took a shit. He's playing with it. And he's just, boy.
What, Atreus playing with his shit or Kratos is?
No. Atreus is playing with his shit.
Come on, father. This is all I've ever wanted. I'm the god of shit.
If I'm a god, why can't I just play with my shit?
Can I turn into animals? Can I turn into shit? I really like shit.
I went to, a little peek behind the scenes. I write down things as we're talking, just like get highlights ready to post for the week. Yeah. And for whatever reason, for that one, I wrote, play a shite.
Play a shite.
Yeah.
All right. As long as you can remember what that means.
Well, I did fix it to play with shite.
Okay, that's better.
All right, we ready? Move on?
Move on.
Scarf. I played it. I beat it.
How'd you like it?
Well, I got the good ending because I made sure to get those things after you told me to get those things. 6 of them.
Yeah, I had 5.
Yeah. All right. I like the idea.
Yeah, what is your opinion on that plot, that beginning few seconds of cutscene?
Oh yeah, that's it's a lot.
It's a little blue cowboy.
You play as a little blue cowboy. Yeah, it's a lot in the beginning. It's kind of all over, and throughout the game, as you find more of those darkness things, like all right, it starts making sense.
Yeah,
but they just kind of like gave you like a real quick Spark Notes version of something a little in depth.
Pretty much.
But I like the general idea and concept of what this game is. Just like, here's a level. There's all sorts of little mini puzzles all around for you to platform through and get these feathers. That is like, yeah, give that to me. That's what I like. Yeah. It didn't always perform the execution in the way I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
So like I did come across, I don't know if you had this issue, a few glitches. The most frequent, which happened to me multiple times, was getting stuck on the edge of like a platform or something to where like your character gets kind of stuck in like the falling animation on the edge of something. And I pretty much have no choice to do anything but reload my latest checkpoint or die.
I think I did get stuck in a few places if I wasn't able to like jump out or whatever.
Yeah, so I had that a few times. I had... did you have an issue? It was in one of the last levels where you have like the water thing that lets you go underwater, which that was actually very like a cool thing. Mm-hmm. Just like a cool mechanic. But remember at the end, there were a couple of spots where you had to put it down on like a specific spot and it like expanded it.
Yeah.
It took so many tries for me to actually get the character to put it down on the actual thing.
Yeah.
Like the amount of times I would hit it, like the button prompts were there, I'd hit it, and he would just kind of like put it down kind of on top of it, but kind of next to it, and it didn't do the thing. Like it happened to the
point like a crystal or something in the spot, it just kind of next to it.
Right. So that's what was happening with like the underwater thing. To the point where I explored the whole underwater, and there were there were a couple spots I found to put it, and I was like, I guess I can't do this now because I need to go find another ability in the level. So I went into the rest of the level and was like, well, I guess I just got to figure it out. And then eventually, like, it was working.
Mm-hmm. I did think that part was cool, though.
Oh, yeah, no. The actual... I did like the whole thing of, like, carry this thing through the water and the water, like, pushes out of the way and creates this air bubble. It was like cool physics for a small game like this.
Which, speaking of which, you knew what I meant when we were standing at the top of that like desert hill, looking down. You have the sand. It's like waves.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was. There were some visual aspects of this game that were like impressive for what it was, because it was clearly, this is obviously not a AAA game.
No.
I didn't like the way I like to play these games, which is basically like I just want Mario. You know what I mean? So the moments where like you're kind of forced through story wise, some areas like you can't actually go explore. You have to just hold down forward. And like your character moves through, or you lose your scarf and you have to go get the things to feed your scarf, so your dragon scarf is happy again and then is with you, and then you can actually explore. I just like I don't want that. I want to just go into a level and just go explore all the different puzzles.
Yeah.
And I do kind of wish the story played out differently. To where, like, I don't, it's, I guess, spoiler alert, even though you're not really playing this game for the story.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk about the ending here, so if you don't want to hear about the ending of Scarf, just skip ahead.
It's weird, because at one point, they're doing the exact same thing that Shadow of the Colossus is doing, but
yeah,
also
kind of.
doing it with, like, the morality system of Bioshock, but using those at the same time, it's like, it almost feels like too much, and the story itself, I just really didn't get. Like when I beat it and I got the bad ending, I was like, I don't care.
So I got the good ending,
which I watched the good ending and I liked it. Like I just took that as my own for the enjoyment.
I think my issue with it is that they were trying to have a bit of a story thing going on here, and I just don't think it made sense. I think it would have been better if they had this little little offspring of whatever this red silk monster thing is actually like see what's happening as you're going around and like doing this to certain people, and have like a moment of like, oh hey, why am I like fucking these people up? Like this is wrong. And like, or
done something like if it was the offspring and it didn't know that it was being like used against.
Right. Like I just wish it actually learned that, because like there's a time where it lets you just play hide and seek with one of the other like cloud dudes in the forest, and it's just like, all right, I'm just gonna chill and watch this happen, and then it just comes up and kills them. Well, it doesn't kill them, but like,
I tell you, it does the darkness thing.
Yeah, it takes the thing, and then they just get real sad.
They just kind of like put their head down. They're like, oh.
Actually, at the end though, it does like straight up eat somebody.
That's the end though. Yeah, it's a little different.
But it's like it just felt like it didn't make much sense in that regard for your thing, like your little blue cowboy to like help this thing the whole time and start recognizing what's happening, and then just like still wait till the very end, and then it's just like, yeah, fuck you, destroyed.
Yeah, because every time you go up to one of those dark things, it is pulling you away, which at first you don't realize. I guess you're just like, oh, it doesn't like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Right. And then it's slowly telling you the story of like, no, you're kind of like with a douchebag.
Yeah, and I wish that was actually like, it just kind of felt like it was happening and no one cared, or like there was no character development. And I know that feels weird talking about character development in a game like this, but also they were kind of setting up a story like that anyway.
Well, the thing is, like, you can have the gameplay, which is, like, fun and simple enough, but I guess they really wanted to, like, all right, fuck, we have to have a story with it, too. Let's just go crazy. And it's like, you really didn't need to, because no one seemed to, like, focus on it.
No, if anything, like, with the way everything with the story played out, I wish there was just, like, none of that story stuff and more levels.
Yeah.
I gave it a 6 out of 10. It was okay.
I had some fun with it. I liked the mechanics and just playing around with that.
Totally. I wish it kind of like the gunk. It was like barking up some of my right trees, but then just like it did stuff I didn't like.
Yeah.
But I do think like not a bad game at all.
Okay. I mean, I had fun with it, but it can be one of those where it's like, all right, I kind of forgot already.
Oh yeah, come like at the end of the year, this is not going to really compare to a lot of the
Yeah,
games you're playing, I'm sure.
it's gonna be like June. I'm be like, wait, I played Scarf this year.
Right? Yeah. Like okay, sure, Scarf. If we
All right,
even
then.
remember it at that point, which
Yeah.
sounds kind of mean to say, but also that's what it is.
It is, but for the time, it was fun while we had it.
Yeah.
I bought myself a little VR game.
Ooh.
I bought myself Blade and Sorcery Nomad.
Which one is that?
Do you know the Blade and Sorcery game?
It sounds really familiar. I'm pulling up Google right now.
It's the game on Steam where it's like it's like a VR game where you can pretty much do what you want with like the physics. It's like a combat arena. You can use magic, swords, bow and arrow and stuff. You're just kind of like messing around with the people, knocking them over.
Yes,
Like,
I do know
yeah.
this.
So I got this, which they tell you right in the beginning, hey, we're a small indie studio. This is a work in progress, blah, blah, blah. It does not run well at all.
Oh, like
Like-
frame rate wise?
Like I turn it on and I'm using it, and as it's like still loading up the first room, I go to turn my head to the right, and everything in front of me and to my left is loaded in, but as I'm looking right, the thing just freezes for a second. I only see like black on the right side, like it hasn't loaded in, and it takes a few seconds for it to all just kind of like regulate again, and then I can look around. But as I'm exploring, it's definitely jumpy. There's some frame rate problems. And then even like the mechanics themselves are just like using it. It just feels like it's still not a fully finished product. Like even maybe not necessarily to have early access in.
Yeah, that's like obviously not great. Like, hey, like I'm sure making games is hard, especially for small studios, but
Yeah.
you don't want that in VR of all places.
There's a section that I was playing through where there's a climbing part, and I don't know how the climbing works. I go to put my hand up on something, and the one trigger is my pointer finger, and the other trigger is my other three fingers. And I don't know whether I have to like put my hand up to it and then click the buttons, or if I have to like put my hand above it, click the buttons, and like let my fingers rest on it and pull myself up. But I was really struggling just to get my hands on this thing. Same thing with like the ladder too, where it tells you where to put your hand. It feels like it's not registering as well, and especially not when you're up to like an NPC or like an enemy or anything.
And just to be clear, this is not an early access game, right? It's like considered a full release.
So I don't know exactly what the difference between this and the Nomad is, because the Nomad is what released on Oculus, and I'm not sure if like the base version is better on like Steam VR.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
'Cause-
Blade and Sorcery Nomad.
Yeah, Blade and Sorcery has been out since 2018 on Steam, but Nomad.
Yeah, that seems like it. That's just like the Quest 2 release name.
Yeah, that seems like it's not doing well. I mean, granted, like I said, it still says it's a work in progress, but I was like, ooh, I'm excited for this. And it doesn't seem to be running too well.
Okay, well that's kind of a bummer, but hopefully
Yeah.
they like if it's a work in progress, they get that fixed and figured out.
And the other thing is, like, this is Nomad, so if this is the Quest version of it, it has like no content, which is why almost every single person in the reviews section is just talking about mods and just adding mod support. Because you have magic, you can like push people, you have your swords, your bow and arrow and whatnot, and then that's pretty much it. You could just walk around feeling kind of janky and just like fight some people. Granted, like the weapons and the physics do feel kind of good when they work, but there's really, it's just a sandbox. There's really nothing to do. It's like the Matrix thing where you shoot for 5 minutes and then just walk around.
Yeah, so there's not like levels, is there? Is just like you're thrown
There's like
into any
arenas, and you can choose how many enemies and like what difficulty. So you can have like
Okay,
3 enemies
yeah.
at a time. But even then, it doesn't feel like it moves around and feels good to a point where it's like, all right, I'll keep playing this, or there's really much to do here. But as like a
Yeah.
base start, sure.
Sure. Well, I mean, hey, hopefully they actually can like fix it up and make it play good.
Yeah, I used my coupon on it, so I didn't spend as much. So it'll just be waiting there until a better version comes out.
Yeah, that coupon didn't work for me.
I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, me either. Maybe it's because like I mean I did try to buy Resident Evil with it, so maybe it just wasn't like an applicable game.
I don't know. I like you didn't even have the notification, so
Nope.
who knows?
I guess they just like you better.
Maybe.
I got one more game here, and I'm not gonna go too deep into it because it's an old game. We started. My girlfriend and I started Dead Island co-op.
Ayo.
The definitive edition because it's on. The cheaper way to do it was to just sign up for PlayStation Now because it's on there, and as long as we have it done within a month, it would be half the price.
All right. There's only one correct answer. Who did you play? Who did you pick to play as?
I don't remember their name. She is the.
Boo! Pretty fucked up. You fucked up real bad, idiot.
What?
No. You only play as Sam B. Because Sam B got the thing that go bump in the night.
Is this something like? Is this some sort of the reference I'm not gonna get?
There's 4 characters. Perna.
There were 5. I'm Perna.
All right, there's 5 because of the DLC. There's Perna. There's Xianmei, Logan, and Sam B.
So I'm Perna, and she's the other female character.
Oh my god! None of you chose Sam B. No other character has what goes bump in the night.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Did you watch the opening cutscene?
Yeah, everyone's which I wrote down. Very of that era of game. Where it's just this huge party, everyone's getting drunk and shit, and you like pass out and you black out.
What happens in the cutscene?
I don't know. You're at the party, you're acting like an asshole, and you black out, and then
who's at the party?
A lot of people, everyone.
All right, who's on stage?
I don't know. Someone's rapping there.
Sam B got the thing that go bump in the night. Who do you voodoo, bitch?
Ah, okay.
That's Sam B. Every person that you meet in that cutscene is every one of the playable characters.
So I noticed that because there was another cutscene a little bit after that, where it's like all the characters were together in like the little like cabin that everyone's using as like a safe room.
So in that sense, whenever a cutscene plays, you're all together. Like
which it's cool. I mean, it makes sense in terms of like game development.
Yeah, like you're not having the NPCs like around you like Left 4 Dead, but in the cutscene sense, they're with you.
Right. I chose Perna because she was a firearms expert, and I was like, I want to use guns, and we played for a few hours, and I haven't come across a single gun.
Nope. And you know what happens later in the game when you find guns? They feel like shit.
Well, I'm committed already, so I'm not changing.
Sam B is the melee character, and he's got it fucking going on.
Yeah, I think he was. Well, they all still have different. Like the character that my girlfriend's playing as is like sharp object specialist, and I think he was blunt weapons specialist.
Yeah, but just melee damage in general. Like his shit is bonkers.
Oh, like
Logan
his
throws things.
Right, that's what he was. He was the throwing expert, and then I guess it was a DLC guy. I think his name was Raul or something.
Ryder White.
Is that who? Okay, yeah, just off to the right with no specialty whatsoever, just completely separate.
Yep.
And I thought that was funny. It was just like a dude over there.
It is. He's boring.
He seemed boring, and that's why it was funny.
Yeah, Sam B's where it's at. Continue though, because I love this game.
Yeah, so I guess obviously not going to get too deep into it because everyone knows what Dead Island is, but we're having fun with it. Just kind of running around, killing some zombies, and just doing some side quests.
Now imagine if the game felt so much better and there was parkour.
Yeah, I've played that, and it wasn't hooking me.
You're just wrong, but it's okay.
I can accept that.
Now, I will say, there are 2 more Dying Light games. Neither of them are better than the original.
There's 2 more Dying Light games?
Oh, yeah, there is, buddy.
Okay, is there like some sort of handheld version? Is there like a PS Vita version or something?
All right, listen up, kiddies, and put your school hats on.
I'm not wearing.
We got Dead Island.
Yes.
Everybody knows it. Then,
Oh, is this what you mean by Oh, we're talking Dead Island. Oh, yeah. Okay, I thought we were talking about Dying Light.
No.
Okay, I know. Then there's like Riptide, right?
You got Dead Island Riptide, which is like a fucking the Wolfenstein Old Blood or the Uncharted Lost Legacy of the ages.
Okay,
That's what that game is.
Is it good?
No, it's not. Not at all compared to the first one. It's not good. It plays exactly the same, and it has like less assets because it was just rushed out.
Oh, that's a bummer.
I still played it, but it's not good. And then we get to the pinnacle, the trifecta of Dead Island games.
What is
know
it?
what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't know there was another one.
We're talking Escape Dead Island.
I don't know this.
Escape Dead Island is a spin-off third-person cel-shaded action-adventure game.
What?
Yup.
I'm
and it is
Googling
made
it so I
by
can see it.
a different developer, still published by Deep Silver, and I beat that game in 2 days.
Why is this a thing?
It is awful. It is
But like, why
terrible.
why?
You want to know the best part about it?
What?
Would you believe me if I told you that it was stuck in a time loop?
Oh, really?
First cutscene of the game.
Do you wake up on a beach with some alcohol?
You and your buddies are on a boat. All right, you're driving through the water up to this island. You come across this little yellow briefcase. So you bring it on board and you're looking at it and whatnot. And you go through the entire story that involves this briefcase and whatever bullshit is going on the island. And I can't fucking remember because it's been so long since I played it and it's not a great game. But at the end of the game, you throw that little thing, winds up back in the water. And casually just sits in the exact same location as where you found it as the game started. And oh my god, the boat's coming again.
And that's it?
Fucking time loop.
So, but that doesn't even sound... With no explanation for it whatsoever.
This game, it's like you also get sent into like some weird fucking like hacker sci-fi world and you're fighting like hacker zombies. Dude,
Hacker zombies.
Literally, it's like code zombies. Like, it's a zombie, but he just looks like blue code and, like, fucking shit.
God, the zombie apocalypse is bad enough, but now they're getting into our computers.
Now they're fucking net codes and viruses. I'm
this
telling you.
This sounds like they just made the game and they didn't know how to end it. They're like, fucking time loop is crazy.
This is one of those games that I bought when I was doing my big, like, when I was really first started to grow my collection, I would go to all GameStops every time I was on vacation or something. I'd buy every single pre-owned game they had there. If it was under, like, $5, I would make sure to buy all of them. And I remember seeing that game there one day, and I said, you know what? Fuck it. I took it home, and I played through a good few hours of it, to the point where I was like, oh, man, I'm stuck. I'm mad. You know what? I'm going to bed. I went to bed, and the next morning I come back, and I start playing that part again, and of course I go past it. Like an hour or two later, I beat it. This is like a 6-hour game, and it's terrible, and it looks like the way it does, and I don't know who let this thing happen.
Yeah, this just seems very strange.
Who let this happen, and then who's stopping Dead Island 2 from coming out? And don't even get me started on the Dead Island Retro Rampage game, the 4th Dead Island game.
There's 4?
Yeah, it came out with the remakes of 1 and Riptide. It's a 2D game. I think it's called Retro Rampage.
I'm looking up Retro Revenge.
Retro Revenge, that's what it is. Yeah. This
is like a brawler.
Yeah, so those are the characters in Retro Revenge. Those are the characters that were originally in the 2014 Dead Island 2 trailer of the dude running. So that fat guy is the fake Jack Black that isn't going to exist anymore when the new game comes out, and it's been rebooted like 4 times.
So they basically, ever since Dead Island came out, and was successful, which I'm pretty sure I've tried it in the past. I never actually beat it or anything. But Dead Island, it was a big game, you know.
Yeah.
So that happened, and then they were just like, we're just gonna do everything to not make another one of those.
No, what they did was they had Techland, and Techland was like, "All right, we'll make your your Dead Island game." And then they were like, "Cool." So then they make the Dead Island game, and then they were like, "Hey, we want to do Dead Island, but make it a little more serious. Like we want to do it our way." And Deep Silver was like, "Are you an idiot? Are you fucking stupid? Who owns the IP? Who owns you? We're gonna do another Dead Island, which was funny, and we're gonna make a lot of money off of it." And you know what Techland said? No. And then Dying Light came out. And ever since then, they've been fucking suckering every developer who just wants some money in to make these Dead Island games, and it is not going well. But Dying Light, it is taken off. Granted, it's been 7 years since the last release, but just the comparison.
Well, I mean, hey, at least that's getting a second game.
It's right.
That's like real.
Dead Island got a second, third, and fourth, and none of them are really good.
Yeah, but not like
the actual sequel is in development hell, you know?
Right, yeah. But yeah, and like I said, like I'm not gonna sit here and go deep into the story of what's happening so far, but it's fun. It's just especially co-op. Co-op makes these types of games where you can just run around with a buddy and just mess around and kill some zombies. It makes these games more enjoyable.
The driving's fun too. Like the random bits you can do is just fun.
So we just got the pieces for the dude to like fix up a car to unlock that for us.
Cinemoy?
He's just like, all right, give me a little bit and I'll have it up and running. But,
my name's
all right,
Cinemoy.
We're gonna go do some other side quests then.
Oh, it's such a good game. Have you tried the analog controls?
What do you mean?
So there's a combat style. So you know how you're using the triggers and whatnot to fight?
Yeah.
There's an option called analog controls where you walk forward with your left stick, I think it is.
Okay.
Or whatever. So there's some button where you can use your right stick as like your swing. Like you can like rotate it around and like have that be your actual swing with the weapon.
Interesting. How do you turn then?
So I don't remember how it is. There might be like a button that you have to hit first and then use it, but you can like use it like you like the right stick is your arms and you're going to choose which way you want to swing.
That's interesting.
I think there's an achievement for killing like 100 zombies that way or whatever. But I tried it once. It was kind of fun.
Well, that's Dead Island. That's been this week of or not even a week yet, but a few days of quarantine.
I have the fourth game.
Dave, you went from 2 games to 3 games to now 4 games?
Yeah, because I keep forgetting. I've been really busy doing stuff, and I forget. I bought Black Ops 2, like all of it on Steam.
Like the old Call of Duty game?
Yes.
Are you just replaying it?
The multiplayer, because Black Ops 2 had one of the best multiplayers. But there's
Are people still playing it?
Only like TDM and whatnot. There isn't really a big following on like anything else, which I expected there to be more, but at the end of the day, like this is PC Black Ops 2, so at least I'm not necessarily getting like shitty modded lobbies, which is good, like I'd be getting on 360.
That's okay. That's I guess better.
And I played some zombies just to fuck around, but I don't know, I just miss Black Ops 2 and I like those kind of Call of Duty games. Maybe I'll play the campaign again.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, are you gonna jump into campaign again, or are you just like kind of messing around in multiplayer?
Just messing around in multiplayer right now, but I might jump in just for the fuck of it if I have some free time. I have some other 360 games that I've been looking at, one specifically, so we'll see if I get to that.
Are you gonna save that? You gonna set that one up for next week?
Absolutely, because I didn't start it yet.
All right. Well, then that's it.
That's it for games.
Did you pick a game of the month for December?
I'll probably gonna go with Halo.
Oh, right. Hey, that makes sense. I was looking back. I was like, I don't really have much here.
I was like between the two. It was either Chorus or Halo, but I enjoy both Halo's gameplay and the story, and I don't know what the fuck's happening in Chorus, but the gameplay seems fun.
Yeah, I picked Chorus just because of how much fun it is to play. I need to jump back into that these next few days, but yeah, it's fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Shall we move on to news?
You want to move on to news? When do you want to talk about our tens?
We'll do that. Let's tease it. We're gonna after news. We have some. We each picked our top 10 most anticipated for 2022 specifically.
Yeah.
And we kind of predicted, which of course will be wrong, but we'll compare it at the end of the year. Like what do we think our top 10 games of the year will be?
I do this every year. Every time I open up my notes app and I make my little note thing. I write January to December, or this year it's December to November, because shit. And I put down how many games I've beaten, how many new games, what platform, what DLCs, everything. And right at the beginning of the year, I go, what do I think my top 10 is going to be at the end? And I don't touch it, and I see if it's right. And it usually isn't. It's usually really different.
Of course, yeah, because we can't actually predict it, and half the time games come out that we didn't even hear of, and then,
Boom. Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, this is the first time you've done it for a while. It's the first year I've done it, and it's a very interesting thought experiment.
It's fun. I like doing it because it's like, this one matches up, but who would have thought that this would have been my number one compared to this, Well,
I was also doing this right with my top 10 most anticipated. It was kind of like a weird thought. Like, I'm excited for this, but where do I think it will actually land when all things are said and done?
Exactly. Because when I looked at my anticipated, I was like, yeah, I'm excited for all the games in my top 10 that I think is going to be in my top 10. But you know what? What are the games that, what am I just excited for? Like, I just want to play that. Not that I think that it's my favorite of the year, but what am I just excited to try and play?
Yeah, it was interesting. But first is news. So you all have to stick around because it's not possible to skip news.
Speaking of news, let's start off with some bad news.
Oh, what's the bad news?
So, I don't know if you heard, but I'm a little nervous because Ken Levine, best known for BioShock and Irrational Games. So, you remember that he created Ghost Story games after Irrational fell apart?
Yes, this was one of my news stories, so I know exactly where this is going.
That studio formed about 8 years ago.
That's a long time.
And you know how many games they put out?
None.
Yep. Apparently, their current project has gone through numerous iterations over the past few years and is currently, through what some say, is stuck in development hell right now. Mainly because what it sounds like is just Ken Levine, being the auteur that he knows, that everyone knows him to be, which is one of the reasons why BioShock is so well beloved, but is very bad on the relationship side.
Yeah, this is one of those things. It's kind of like what we talk about with Kojima, where hey, yeah, this person has some great ideas, but maybe they need to be reined in a little bit, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just having them complete control, which this is where we're at now.
Yeah, I mean, good things have come out from it, but in some cases like this one, it seems to be more negative. That is, unless this game comes out and it's like another BioShock, then fine.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like we're getting it anytime soon.
No, especially after all the iterations it seems to go under. Who knows what stage it's in or what it even looks like compared to where it started.
Yeah, I was reading about this and how he wants it every single player has a unique experience and story playing through the game, and I can only imagine if you're actually trying to do that, how many different directions your brain goes with that, and it just, yeah.
It's frustrating because I can see it from both perspectives, because at the same time, I've written things down. I don't like when people change it. It's mine. I like it, But at the same time, it's that's, in this scenario, that's not necessarily how it's going to work, unless you want to sit at home and do all the development yourself, Ken.
Maybe that's where this is going.
Maybe, but it's literally they would work for months on something and then just him be like, all right, no, we don't need that anymore. Imagine 3 months of your job just being all right, no, we don't need that.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So who knows if or when we'll ever see what this game is, but not soon.
BioShock 4 will probably come out faster.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah, right?
You want to talk about some Bully 2 news came out about, well, to be clear, the canceled Bully 2 and like the story around it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this was canceled a long time ago, a sequel to Bully. And I was reading about it. I don't want to go over everything. It was some ex-Rockstar employees were talking about it that worked on it. It wasn't being worked on by the same part of Rockstar that did the first Bully.
Which that's already a bad start.
Yeah, it was handed off to Rockstar UK, I believe. And this was supposed to be like, Bully 2 was supposed to be like, or Bully in general was supposed to be like a flagship series for them, like coming out next to Red Dead Redemption and GTA.
Which it could have.
It could have, sure. Apparently it had some very forward-thinking ideas that were used like now in Red Dead 2, where they wanted it to be like, hey, you prank one of the neighbors around here and like fuck up their shit, that character will remember that for the hours to come in the game and like will treat you differently based on that.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of how like in Red Dead 2, you do something to a character, they'll remember it and like it'll come back to you and all that stuff.
Which I can only imagine trying to implement that however many years ago.
Right, which that's like very forward thinking for that time.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that really seemed to hold it back, someone higher up in Rockstar, I didn't put his name down, so I don't remember. Work culture shit. So, as you know, with Rockstar, they've had a bad past with crunch and things like that. So this dude visited Rockstar UK and basically like didn't seem to like when some of the people were like, yeah, we're not working this Saturday, but we work most weekends. Just we're taking this Saturday off. That seemed like a problem that they basically weren't working 7 days a week overtime.
Yikes.
And I didn't read every single detail, but that seemed to be like the big thing to where like it, because you know we've all heard stories about the Red Dead or GTA earlier on Rockstar. Like they were one of the first to really get like called out on for their crunch culture. And words like, you know, frat house culture, that was all used still to describe this. So that is a shitty reason, but that seems to be the big thing for like why this game didn't happen. Is essentially because they weren't working 7 days a week overtime on it.
Which that shouldn't be that way, but you know.
No, it shouldn't. And hopefully we still see a sequel to Bully at some point. It feels like it would do good, so...
Aren't we supposed to get like a remake or a remaster or something? Or are we supposed to be... Is the rumors that we are, like, that other project is the new Bully?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, this project we were talking about was back in, like... I think it was, like, 2010 that this was happening.
Yeah, but there's been rumors since that in the past few years of more Bully stuff, whether it's the sequel again or if it's a remake or whatever else is happening with it.
Well, they should do something with it. They just should.
I mean, first off, just make a remaster of it, like, and
that would be a good start. But yeah, that was Bully shit.
You want Ghost of Tsushima? That's a good game.
It is. What are you talking about with it?
It just so happened to sell 8 million units.
Wow, that's a lot.
Can you believe that shit?
No, I wouldn't. No, that wouldn't be like the game I would think is 8 million. That's a lot.
Yeah, which we are getting sequels.
Oh, definitely. If a game is selling 8 million copies, yeah.
Absolutely.
I guess we won't be seeing Infamous for a while.
Yeah, unless it's one of those things where it gets big and like they're like, all right, you do Ghost and the other guys do Infamous.
Oh,
Give me a new Infamous.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's not that wouldn't be like the PlayStation game I would pick to be like 8 million copies.
No, and it's only been so long since it came out.
Yeah, that was what, 2019?
I think so, was it?
Yeah, because wasn't it the same year as Last of Us 2, which was also 2019? Or was that 2020?
Ghost of Tsushima came out July 17th, 2020.
Oh, man. All right.
Even shorter. It's been about a year and a half, and this game has got 8 million units.
Yeah, that's a short amount of time to sell 8 million copies of a game.
Yeah.
Well, I guess let's stick with the PlayStation news.
Gimme.
PlayStation VR 2 was announced at CES.
They didn't show it.
Nope. Well, they did show the new controllers, which
Yeah,
they look a lot like the Quest 2, like a little to some differences, but they look like that. Yeah, they didn't show the headset, no release date, no price or anything.
We did get a game though.
We did get a game, and I'll get to that, but let's talk about the nerd shit that I don't understand.
I don't care. Boo!
Yeah, I don't know what this means. It's gonna have I know what this means. It has an OLED display, 90 hertz and 120 hertz, 110 degrees field of view. I don't know how any of that compares to other VR headsets. I'm sure it's good. You won't need an external camera this time, which good. And the controllers
eye tracking as well.
What's that?
They said there's eye tracking as well.
Interesting. I didn't see that. That would be, So like you move just your eyeballs and like the game track that feels like
features eye tracking in 4K.
That's crazy. And the controllers will have like the haptic feedback like PS5 controllers have right now, like that really cool vibration.
DualSense.
Yep. Well, these are just the Sense controllers.
Sure.
And then, they announced a game for it. Horizon, Call of the Mountain. This is the Horizon series is getting a VR game. They said built specifically for PSVR 2 and it's being made by Guerrilla with Firesprite, who PlayStation acquired not too long ago.
Which, you know what's a pain in the ass? Having to buy a PSVR 2 now.
Yeah, I'm sure I will at some point, but having just bought the Quest 2 and having like building up my catalog now in the Quest 2, I don't see myself, whenever this does come out, getting it right away.
PlayStation for me has always been the exclusive box, and it's probably going to be the same thing when it comes to PSVR 2.
I can see that, yeah, and I'm sure I will get one at some point.
Yeah.
But like within, not anytime soon after release. Maybe at some point if there's like a really good sale and like that Horizon game seems cool.
I know. I mean, the Quest, we got ours for like $300. And it's great for what it does. Didn't the PSVR initially come out at like $400 or so with all the bullshit, and now they're still coming in with wired stuff, and who knows how much this will cost?
I thought I saw that this still will have like it'll only be like one wire now, but it still has a wire, right?
Yeah.
Which I know technically you could probably run it better that way, but man, the Quest 2 and no wires is really a big bonus. Yeah.
So
like that was like one of the huge selling points for me.
These games better be fucking good if you want me to spend another few $100 on something just to collect dust.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't remember the last time I touched my PSVR.
God, all this fucking shit. I still got the Steam Deck coming in February. Is that even gonna get used?
That seems like a good wintertime work type thing.
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually. More news. Let's see. Let's talk about Xbox.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about two things, and they're both Ubisoft related. First off, yummy, Rainbow Six Extraction is coming to Game Pass day one.
Yeah, this made me happy because I was not buying that game at full price whatsoever.
Nope. And now I'll think about playing it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on Game Pass, there's literally no risk.
Yeah.
You just play, even if it's not good, you just play it. You could just play it and try it.
Which we will probably try when it comes out.
Yeah, I've definitely I don't want to say I'm excited for this game because I'm not really, but yeah. I've been more interested to try it than you have been.
Yeah. I mean, since it'll be free, I'll be interested in trying it, but who knows if it'll actually do anything for me.
Yeah, I mean, I totally, even if it does something for me, do I see it doing something for me, in a long-term aspect? No, not whatsoever.
No.
But yeah, good news.
Speaking of Ubisoft Plus is also coming to Xbox as its own service.
Also good news. So that's not out yet, right?
No, and it will not be attached to Game Pass like EA is.
But still, that's good news because, yeah, the fact that that's only on PC is a bummer.
Yeah. I wonder, they'll probably have some sort of like PC, like one overall shit.
Probably. I don't know
I
if
got
you saw
another
with
Ubisoft thing.
You'll have a what?
Another Ubisoft thing.
Oh, go ahead.
They had one of their veterans leave the company after 15 years.
That's a long time. Did they say why?
It was the co-director of Skull and Bones.
Say no more.
Say no more.
That's all the explanation I need.
Yep. All I saw was like, all right, thanks, guys. Can't wait to move on to my next journey and see what happens next. And I bet he's thinking, God, I can't wait to get the fuck away from the Singapore government.
They've had me on Skull and Bones for so long, and I'm done with it.
I can't do this anymore.
That's really funny.
Yeah. Oh, man. I feel bad for every single developer working on that game. I hope that they can get out of that. I hope
they should just cancel it at this point.
They can't because the Singapore government has their fingers completely wrapped around.
Fucking Ubisoft.
Fucking Ubisoft.
Just to touch real quick, I don't know if you saw with Rainbow Six, they have a cross-play buddy pass coming to it. So if one person gets the game, I assume you could do this like if you get it on Game Pass too, then you can give 2 passes for any system for someone to play free for 14 days.
Okay.
So, like, I mean, it's not going to really apply to our situation because all of us that would play it, we already have Game Pass.
Yeah.
But if, let's say only one of us had Game Pass, we're like, all right, here's this code for PlayStation, here's this code for PC, and we can all just play with one copy.
Cool.
Just a cool thing. More buddy passes and things.
Yeah. But make them about games that people care about.
Yeah, like It Takes Two.
Exactly.
Buddy pass, great.
Good.
I got one more piece of news here.
Give me.
You know the I haven't watched these the Netflix movies, the Extraction.
I did see that, and I didn't, but somehow it's getting a sequel. I don't know what happened to that Netflix movie for it to get so popular to spawn a sequel and this.
Is it just Chris Hemsworth? Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Well, so yeah, it's made from the Russo brothers. That's who made the movie. The Russo brothers made a $400 million deal with Nexon, who make mostly online and mobile games. And it seems like an Extraction video game is going to be made.
Sure.
So there you go. That's when we talk about like movie IPs that really should have video games because it would be perfect. This isn't what I think, but also I've never seen Extraction, so what do I know?
It feels like they're going like the James Bond or like Bourne Ultimatum game route.
Okay. Sure.
To which those games are fine.
Yeah. Sure.
That's it for news?
That's all I got. I don't know if you had anything else.
No, this is for me.
All right, let's move on to the most
Notable
anticipated
game
segment.
releases.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's move on to that. I got nothing.
We got one. And
what
it's
is it?
only coming to Xbox Series X because it's already out on every other platform. It's Super Sammy Roll coming January 10th.
Sure.
Maybe if it came out this year, I'd play it.
Oh, you showed me this, didn't you?
I did. It looked interesting until I found out that it released last year.
Yeah, which is weird for us to be like, oh, this came out a year ago. I don't want to play it now. But also, like,
new.
we gotta keep up with the new shit, and there's only so much time.
If you gave me Chorus and Super Sammy Roll, which one do you think I'm gonna play?
Super Sammy Roll.
Yep. Ready to be anticipated?
Yeah, this as I was saying, the most anticipated segment of most anticipated games, anticipation. Now, we've been doing a lot
mine are in no particular order.
Oh, I ordered mine.
I didn't order my anticipated. I ordered my top 10, but not my anticipated.
I ordered both of them.
There's like a general order, but then I just had to think of more games.
Do you still want to go like back and forth like we normally do?
Sure.
Well, you have some honorable mentions, right?
Yeah, I have my runners up for my top 10 guess.
Oh, nothing anticipated?
Nah, that's just anticipated.
All right. Well, I'll kick it off then. For our most this is so 10 games. Mine's in order. Dave is in kind of order. My number 10 most anticipated games, and to be specific, just for 2022, this isn't like all games that we know of. I put Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, and I put it at number 10 because I don't think it's coming out next year.
Yeah.
It would be higher up if I felt better about it, but it technically is a game that's slated to come out in 2022, and as long as that's still the case, it's going to be on my most anticipated.
I did the same thing. Like my first few on my anticipated list, like top to bottom, go in like sort of in order, and then like the second half is just kind of bullshit, to which I threw in some of those kind of games. Like I got Starfield on here. So
is that your next game? That's what you're saying, Starfield?
Well, yeah, because I have no particular order, and you're going number 10.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Starfield, yeah, I get that. Same type of idea. I would love for it to actually come out in November, but is it going to?
We both know it won't.
No, probably not.
We both know for an absolute fact that game is not coming out in this year.
No, it's not going to.
No. And if it will, it's going to get some of the worst reviews.
Yeah, because it'll just be unfinished.
Yup. What's your next one?
My next one at number 9 is Horizon Forbidden West, which I'm excited, but we talked a little bit about it when we talked with the Grumpy Gamers. Mm-hmm. Sequels, for the most part, like I get excited for like new and different shit, and I'm excited for it, for sure, but also I pretty much know what we're getting, the type of thing it is.
Yeah. It's like the opposite with God of War for me, where like specifically for that game, I don't necessarily care where the story goes, but I know that the gameplay with the new creatures is going to add something new, different play styles, so I'm excited for that. But on the other side, my next anticipated game is God of War Ragnarok because of the narrative, which is what I'm getting excited for, because the gameplay doesn't really look like it's going to change too much, which I don't care about.
No, and that's fine, because I think it played fine. Like, it was enjoyable to play. It was never like, I hate playing this. You know what I mean?
But specifically, I want to know what happens next with the narrative. Like, that's
totally
what me in there.
My next game is number 8, A Plague Tale Requiem.
Ooh.
Which, same type of thing. Like, I want this journey to continue. I give me another one of these, and then you can give me like 5 more afterwards too.
Yeah.
Like this game kind of came out of nowhere for both of us, and we were both like, yeah, this is really good.
It really is. It's such a highly recommended game.
Yep, I'm totally excited for the next one.
I'm gonna go with Skate next. Whatever the next Skate's gonna be.
Is that actually slated for 2022? Did they say that?
Like, it's just a skate game, so I think they could realistically put it out this year, maybe like late this year.
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't and it ends up coming out 2023 or whatever, either way, I just want more Skate. It's not that hard.
Yeah, if it even is Skate 4.
And even if it's not, like, these games don't necessarily have like stories or anything. Just give me
I guess it doesn't need to be called 4.
Yeah, just call it whatever. It's been, at this point, we're coming up like 12 years now. Just call it Skate, and we'll just be happy. That's all it is.
Speaking of Skate,
okay, V.
No, my next one's God of War.
Nice.
Good transition, right?
Right.
Yeah, God of War. Same exact reasons you said. Gameplay's fun, but really, I want to see that continuation. And the more you were talking about like the one-shot stuff and all that when we were talking with the Grumpy Gamers, it really like the more you talk about it, the more I was like, yeah, I am excited for this game.
Like, because cinematically having it one shot is fucking mind blowing. Because if you didn't know beforehand, or if you like picked it up, you'd be like, "Are you this whole time? This whole time?
Yeah, it's
This whole time."
very cool.
So cool. Yeah, it's just done so well. I love the camera angles and everything. That's why I'm excited for more. I want to see Atreus scream at all different angles.
What's your next game?
Sea of Stars, because I need a resident like nostalgic game. Anything pixelated.
Yeah. One a year.
And Eastward's come and gone, and I need Sea of Stars because it looks cool, it looks very pretty, it's got really nice pixel animations, and the bosses are cool, it's turn-based, looks like fun.
My next game, number 6, is Sonic Frontiers.
Open world.
The idea of an open world Sonic game is yes. And I will give a little bit of a spoiler. I don't think this is going to be in my top 10. Because it's Sonic, and when do they actually come out with good games now?
I don't know, because I don't play them.
Sonic Mania was the last one, and even that was not like the actual Sonic studio making it.
Right. I'm going to go next with Dying Light 2. I think it's self-explanatory. I need more parkour. I need more Dying Light. I need more zombies.
Yeah, dude, you've been really looking forward to that game for quite a while.
Yeah, because just parkouring around is so much fun. And the new... They doubled the amount of parkour moves for this game, and I can only imagine how much fun that'll be, wall running and doing this and that. These games play really well.
My number 5 is Forspoken. I think that what they've shown of like the combat and the traversal is really fucking cool.
It is cool.
Obviously, we don't know what that's going to actually be like when you're like playing the game, like how limited it is, or like how the combat actually feels to do those moves.
Right.
But in theory, it has me excited.
I'm definitely excited for it, but it just looks like they really haven't shown too much, and it just looks all like kind of samey. It's like, yeah, these all look cool. I'm not really seeing much of anything though.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Mine, we're getting to the point where it's starting to get in like more of an order. So my next one is the Callisto Protocol. And I know Dead Space is coming out, the remake of it, and that's going to be a lot of fun, but this is real, fresh, scary shit, and I want it because Dead Space was done so well to the point that we don't even need a remake, that the old fucking 13-year-old version of the 360 game still holds up so well. So.
Yeah, and that's saying something. A game from that era is still holding up now.
So this new setting, even though I still don't fucking know why we're in the PUBG goddamn universe, but you know what? Fuck it, just give me a good game.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna actually matter at all, but
it better not.
It's just it's a funny
thing. One of the weapons is gonna be a goddamn fucking pan.
It's gonna be some shit like that.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Elden Ring.
Elden Ring?
Yeah, I'm excited for more from. I like what they're doing or what they've shown, like the changes they're making. But again, as you'll see with the next few, like I know technically Elden Ring is a new IP, but it is still like another From game. And as you'll see with my next 3, I'm most excited for really new shit that like I haven't seen anything like before.
Yeah. That's starting here because my number 4 is Redfall. And looter shooter, can this be it? Can this be the new Borderlands? Every time a new looter shooter comes out, they all kind of fucking suck.
I'm excited for Redfall. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited too. Especially because it's first person. And we haven't had a first person looter shooter in a while.
I know, it's been so long since Borderlands 3.
Well, at least a new IP. Fucking.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant.
Yeah.
My number 3 is DokeV.
There it is.
Yep. It looks like absolute chaos. None of it makes sense. You're in a city during the day. That's my shtick. That's my gimmick. We've talked about it plenty in the past. You can go watch a trailer again if you don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. It's bonkers what they're showing, and I love it.
For me, my number 3 is Shadow Warrior 3. Because I can't get enough of Doom Eternal. And the Shadow Warrior games are fucking funny, and they look so pretty.
And it has to come out this year.
Well, they tweeted again. They said, "Oh, it's 2022 now. Only a few weeks away for more information." And I'm like,
Oh, watch the information be. Yeah, the game's canceled.
we did this already, guys. God, imagine. It's so close to being out. I want it. I need it.
My number 2 is Ghostwire Tokyo, because I'm really, what they've shown, I really like the horror aspect they're going for, which, like, this is the people that did Evil Within, so I expect that to be pretty decent. And then just the combat, when they showed that, the weird first person, like, finger spell magic shit. I don't really know how to describe it, but it looks really fun to play, but then also creepy.
Zenyatta.
What you just said. I don't know what you said.
Zenyatta is one of the characters from Overwatch, and the combat in that game is like 1-for-1 with what I forgot what his name was.
Zenyatta.
I was thinking of Zendaya. Damn it.
When aren't you, Dave?
God damn. She got me in her curse. I'm thinking about Zendaya again. Fucking me and everyone else on this goddamn planet. Can I throw a little banter in that I just had popped in my head?
No, you're not allowed.
All right, so I'm going to do this anyway. So I'm reading a book right now, right? Called Master of Life and Death. And it's a book from the 50s that I ended up picking up from a cool little bookstore when I was in Boston. And speaking about how many people know who Zendaya is, got me thinking about how many people are on the planet. And Dylan, tell me what year we're in.
We are in 2022 now.
How many people are on this planet?
How many people? I don't know. Billions.
How many?
Isn't it, what is it, 3 billion?
Are you serious?
I don't know. How many do we have?
We're up to like 8 billion.
That's a lot of people.
Well, yeah. You don't know this?
I didn't know what the world population was at right now. No.
It was like 2010 or whatever. We passed 7 billion. We're up at like 8 billion now.
Oh, man. That's escalating quickly then.
World population. No, not porn.
World porn.
World porn.
What does that even mean?
Yeah. So right now, we're like on the cusp. We got 7,918,330,230 people growing.
How accurate do you think that is this very second?
I'm watching it grow right now.
Oh, is it like a counter thing?
Yeah. How many people died today? Whoa, 131,000.
Yeah.
Whoa, but 300,000 people were born today?
Yep.
That doesn't. Anyway, population growth today, 182,000. I'm sorry, it just updated. Well, I'll say, anyway, so I'm reading this book, and...
Yeah, I'm waiting for this to connect to the population in Zendaya.
So I'm reading this book, and it's the year 2232. And the whole point of this book is it's like, oh, there's this thing that everyone voted on called PopEq, called population equality, where it deals with overpopulation and people with like diseases and stuff. And the year is 2232, and they're like, yeah, we don't know what to do. We just hit 7 billion people. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Is this really what people in the 50s thought the world was going to be like?
Well, they also thought we'd be in like flying cars and shit right now.
True, but like the Earth would be done by then if we had that many people. I mean,
well, how many? 7 billion?
7 billion in the year 2232.
Yeah, that means that things started shrinking.
Yeah, that's like 200 years away, and we already hit that. I wonder if
you can't like wrap your head around that many people,
right? But all right, now wrap your head around this: how many people in the year 2232 will be thinking about Zendaya?
Probably not many.
We don't know that. Maybe our generation is doomed to die, which I think she's part of it, or she's rich enough to get the robot body and then be the opposite and be alive forever.
You know, I was going to say, I didn't think about that part of things. So I was gonna say, like, who are you thinking about? Like, how many celebrities do you think about from 200 years ago?
Right.
But now, yeah, but I didn't think of that aspect.
There you go. There you go. So
I don't know if that'll happen in our lifetimes, though.
I don't know. So my game next?
I think it's on your number 2, yeah.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
You're excited for Borderlands?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember me talking about it last week, but I like Borderlands.
Okay, number 1, which I'm going to go ahead and say is the same for both of us.
Yep.
Hogwarts Legacy. Because...
And that's because it's Hogwarts, and it's Harry Potter, and it looks dope as shit, and it just needs to come out.
Yep, it's Harry Potter is one of those IPs that just could really fucking work in a video game, and I really hope they do it right, and it seems like from what they've shown that they're going to be. So obviously still a lot to see from the game, but yeah, the potential there is great.
It's just so untapped.
Maybe not for much longer.
Yeah. All right, ready to get into the actual nitty-gritty?
This is so you can start because you have runner-ups. I don't have any runner-ups. So this is going to be what we currently think our top 10 for 2022 will be, which is not going to be accurate at all at the end of the day.
Yeah. So I keep 5 runner-ups just for fun. So starting at number 15, going up to number 11, Stalker 2, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, Callisto Protocol, and Starfield.
All right. So now we're ready to jump into... Do you want to go first this time?
I'll go first. Number 10, I'm going with Saints Row.
Oh, right. Saints Row. Yes.
Yeah.
That's you don't think that's going to end up being higher for you?
Not with the rest of the stuff up here. But again, we don't know.
We don't know. This was... yeah, my number 10 was that indie game I've talked about. I played the demo, Best Month Ever.
Okay.
I sprinkled in a couple indie games because there's always a couple indie games that really resonate with me. But It was weird with this upcoming year because there's a shit ton of AAA games coming out.
Which is why mine is pretty much only AAA.
Mine is mostly AAA, but I try to like think about it in terms of like these games that actually impact me.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Uh-oh.
What'd you do?
I have a top 9.
So what was Starfield's actually number 9?
No, Starfield is number 10.
What?
I made my top 10, but it's actually a top 9, and my runner-ups of 11 to 15 are actually 10 to 14.
All right. So then what? So it was what?
All right, well, that actually makes this a lot easier because there's a game that's not in my top 10 that is. So, you know what? Let's just keep going like nothing happened.
Okay, sure. So what's your number 9?
Number 9, A Plague's Tale Requiem. Yeah, I need more Amita and Hugo. Amicia and Hugo. I need it. They're such wonderful characters.
Yep, and they're just keep the series going on. You know, let's see them through their elderly ages.
Uh-huh.
My number 9 was Gotham Knights.
Really?
Yeah, I like what they're doing with the trailer and stuff. Obviously, we don't know what the game is totally going to be like. But I could see if it has like that same tone throughout the game, I could see myself really enjoying it. Like I enjoyed the I'm not a huge Batman or DC or comic book guy, but I really enjoyed those Batman games.
Honestly, it's Montreal is the studio that's doing this one. You should play Arkham Origins because
that is the one I haven't played.
To which it is really good. It is much more detective-y based. Like you have the same combat because it's the same engine, but it goes much more into like the detective stuff, much more story focused. It's a really good game.
Which like I'm cool with that.
My next one, Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think it'll I'm hoping that it stays in my top 10 because it's a new Pokemon game in my favorite region, but I hope it doesn't piss me off.
So I didn't include it in my top 10 for that exact worry. I think it's going to be a little too survivally and a little too tedious and annoying and back and forth.
I don't like that, but it has some of my favorite Pokemon in my favorite region in the way that I want to play. So,
yeah, totally. Like the potential is there, but we'll see.
Yeah.
My number 8, I believe, is going to be Dokev.
Okay.
I'm very excited. I'm excited for it, but I think at the end of the day, once it I don't think the game is going to actually be as bonkers as it looks. You know what I mean?
You'll have fun for like half an hour.
Well, I think I'm going to have more fun than that, but
45 minutes.
No, it'll be definitely fun enough to be in my top 10.
Hour.
Multiply that by many.
2 hours.
That's not many.
It's more than one.
Yeah, I think that ultimately other games will end up landing with me, but that's what I was saying, it's a very interesting, thought experiment. I'm very excited for it, but then also trying to think about realistically what will the game be like and how will it impact me.
I know. That's why I like making these lists, because you never know. My next one is going to be Horizon Forbidden West. Just AAA.
My number 7 is God of War Ragnarok.
Okay.
Horizon doesn't make my top 10. At least what I think will be my top 10.
I think it'll be fun and exciting enough because it's been a few years since I've played that kind of game, and granted, I didn't have much fun in the DLC. The core game itself is fun, and this just looks like a nice step up evolution.
Totally, and I don't mean to, when I'm saying it's not in my top 10 this or that, I am excited for it. I think it's going to be a good game. But there's a lot next year.
I know.
It's your turn for number 6.
Number 6 is going to be Shadow Warrior 3.
I thought that would have been a little higher.
I think so too, but at the end of the day, I think that game is just going to be a lot of fun gameplay-wise. I think the story will be funny, but the only thing that's really going to keep me there is the gameplay. And I think it'll be fun, but it isn't necessarily too much different than Doom Eternal, which I also thought would be higher, but was lower on my lists when the end of the year came.
Okay. My number 6 is Redfall.
Ooh.
I think Redfall will be the co-op game of next year that ends up hooking me as the standout co-op game of the year.
Okay. I am excited for Redfall. My next one though is God of War Ragnarok, because I think that story is gonna. I think it deserves to be in the top 5. I'm hoping that story and the cinematography just continues on to kill it.
I'm also hoping for that. My number 5 is Sifu.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that combat is just based on things I've read and what people have said that I've got to play it. I think it's gonna feel fucking good. And be the closest to an action movie like that we've gotten for quite a while.
We shall see. For my number 4, it is Redfall. Any looter shooter, any type of game like that has my attention. Now, just show me that you deserve it.
Hopefully it does.
Hopefully.
I have my number 4 as Hogwarts Legacy.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, I think that the potential is there, and I think it will mostly deliver, but it won't do everything I want it to do.
I have high expectations.
I do too, and I think it will mostly deliver.
Number 3, top 3 now.
Top 3.
Dying Light 2. I sunk 100+ hours into the first game just doing bullshit. I can do that in this game with double the amount of moves. Easy.
That yeah, I mean they are touting all the new moves you played the first one a lot more than I did, but it seems from what they've shown that they're trying to incorporate more parkour into combat type things.
Which is great because that was already fun in the first game.
Right.
You were doing that.
That's cool.
and the first section was cool, and then the whole game just kind of opened up, and there was a whole second section that you didn't know about, which was more parkour focused, and it was like, oh my god. And the things you could do in the second one, I'm very looking forward to just spending hours and hours just running around.
My number 3, and this is almost certainly gonna be wrong, but if it comes out next year, Starfield.
It won't.
It won't, but if it does, and it's interesting that this wasn't in my most anticipated, and that's because I'm like, I've talked about it before. I'm holding myself back from getting excited because it like lines up so many things I would want in a game.
Yeah.
And I worry that it again, like they talk about a lot what the game's gonna be, but we haven't actually really seen anything.
It might be ignorant, but I will hold it expectation wise above the quality of Skyrim. Because if they're making their giant big game, their next big game, and not only to mention a brand new IP, then there better be like College of Winterhold level stuff, like all the other side quests. Like this is going to be a big world, so many things to do. I want to be able to just say fuck you main story and go do whatever the hell I want.
And that's what I want, and I want it to work well. I want it to actually deliver. Like I want to have that a modern day, like what Skyrim did to me when I first played it. Like mixed in with like some of what I love about Mass Effect. And I think that potential is really good. And I'm trying to not get, I hold myself back from getting excited from it because it just feels like a big disappointment waiting to happen. But there's a lot of potential there.
I know. Number 2.
All
right. Gonna start getting a little samey here. Tiny Tina Wonderlands. What else is new?
That's interesting because my number 2 is also my anticipated number 2 of Ghostwire Tokyo.
Would you look at that?
I think that will deliver on exactly what I'm expecting from it, and it will be a lot of fun and right up my alley.
It was kind of like I had my top 10 guests all ready to go because it's just something I do. And then I was making my top 10 anticipated, and I was like, every answer can't just be C. Like, I got to throw something else in there.
Yeah, and you do have to really think, too, because it is different from, like, what you're most excited about does not necessarily mean that, like, you think you're going to love it the most. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Now, number 1, it's pretty obvious. Hogwarts Legacy. It's just... I can't, you know?
I get it. I know.
It needs to come out, and I need to throw my life away for it.
Well, Dave, if you throw your life away, you won't be able to play it.
I'm not like throw my life away like physically. I'll just throw it away like metaphorically, and I just won't come to work, and I'll just be stinky.
Why do you have to be stinky, Mug? Because you're not showering?
I'm not showering. I'm not using the bathroom. I'm just only
you're just going in your pants the whole time.
Well, yeah. Editor Al was lucky enough to hand me one of his Pokemon Unite diapers to use, and I'll just sit there with that.
There you go.
Perfect.
I think my game of the year will be Elden Ring.
I mean, that's not too surprising.
No, I think this is the one that, even though it's not necessarily the one I'm the most excited for, again, because like, while they are making some big changes, it is another From game, so like I know what to expect from it mostly.
Yeah, and someone being like you who's actually finished those games and
especially
the other side.
Yeah, especially the more modern ones, and like really the one is like Sekiro is the one that finishing that game was like the final boss in and of itself was like a fucking journey and an experience for me, like a mental battle with a video game I haven't had before. And then ended up like coming out on the other side like that. Mm-hmm. So like combine that experience with a new From game and more like medieval themed, great, already like that. But then open world, like Breath of the Wild style, it has the makings for like, this feels like the From game, if there is one, to be my number 1.
And there's probably a good chance it will be at this point.
There's definitely a good shot. And we don't have much longer, honestly, until we get our hands on it and see what it's like.
Month and a half, pretty much.
Pretty much. And I that's it. We did it.
That's it.
I guess we decided since we're in quarantine and talking sucks because we have COVID that we should talk for like almost 2 hours.
I mean, like I keep saying, I feel fine. I mean, there's like the mucus, but like I'm just your general old boy.
It's been like, I mean, you saw on stream, like I was doing okay.
I mean, I feel like both of us were a little tired.
We were a little like just sick, run down type situation.
Yeah.
But then it was the couple days after that. It's like we kind of went different directions because you were already kind of sick before.
Yeah.
And like,
I had my big brunts at the beginning.
Yeah, and you were like on your upswing, and then that night, and then into the next morning, I was on my downswing, and then like Monday afternoon, nightish, and then really yesterday, like I felt like shit.
Yeah.
Improvement today though. I'm coughing less, which is nice, and I haven't even taken any medicine today.
Look at you. That's crazy.
Yeah, so hopefully by tomorrow, big improvement, and then Friday, just I'm done with it.
Ideally, I mean that'll be the biggest question.
Yeah, and it's just like it. I can't imagine. It's like we definitely have Omicron, the one that spreads easily and is supposedly more mild. And these last couple of days, I'm just like, man, I can't imagine having COVID like strain number 1 without being vaccinated like that. This has sucked the last couple of days, so I can't imagine it.
Yeah. Shit happens.
Shit happens. We'll be okay.
Shit happens.
All right. That's episode 30. I think this marks the end of we've been doing a lot of anticipation for 2022. Multiple podcast episodes, a stream. Yeah. We're like really about a week away from like the first bigger release with the Anacrusis.
Yeah, we're like the old sponge, and 2022 is like a bucket of water, if you know what I'm saying.
A really big bucket of water to get that old sponge throughout the whole year.
You know what? 2 buckets of water.
Yeah, that's better, definitely.
And we're just one fucking sponge.
We're just one old crusty sponge. But yeah, this pretty much marks the end of our. We've been doing a lot of it, and very fitting with what this year is supposedly going to be, with just what we know right now.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of other games for both of us that we haven't really talked about because it's not necessarily our most anticipated, but will probably be some good fucking games.
Yeah.
So
all we got to do now is spend the next 11 months talking about delays.
Imagine like everything gets delayed.
Who honestly, at this point, 2020 is not off to a great start. So
2022.
Yeah, it's yeah. But like while we're here, 2020 also didn't start off at a good start.
No, 2020 also didn't. Not at all. If anything,
in all reality,
one of the worst starts.
We're in part 3 of The Last of Us right now. We're in 2020 part 3. So
it kind of feels like that. But hopefully this is like the end chapter of the bad shit.
You are right. That is a very optimistic thing that we said 2 times now. Last year,
we have. We keep saying it.
Yep.
But hopefully this is the one.
Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe we just at that point where we're saying that every year the rest of our lives.
You know what? Things will get better when Pigs Fly and Starfield comes out. All right?
Those 2 things.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. Our first episode of 2022. Look for many more. And next week we'll be in person again. We won't be sick, hopefully.
Yeah. We'll be super ill. Fucking hella ill over here.
I need to stop talking.
All right, go drink a water.
I've been drinking water this whole time. Bye, everyone.
Good night.